Hello everyone, I'm sorry I can't be with you tonight, but as you can probably hear, I'm a wee bit bugged up with a cold. Since my presentation was going to be largely interactive, I thought I'd take the opportunity to just expand a little bit on the technical side of it, which I was only going to just touch on briefly. You probably are familiar with Google Translate, but what you might not know is just how useful it can be in helping with punctuation and correcting punctuation in English, particularly for those who are not familiar with the importance of the use of commas to change the meaning and sense in English. Normally, I would demonstrate this kind of thing using Japanese, but since the chances are that very few of you out there will actually be able to read Japanese and understand what's going on, I thought I'd use Welsh instead. Welsh is particularly useful because Welsh grammar is even weirder than Japanese grammar is. So, let's say we've got this sentence in English and I'm learning Welsh, and being a lazy git, I decided I'm just going to use Google Translate to do my homework for me. And we're looking at, let's say the past continuous and the past perfect in conjunction with each other. Now, when an English speaker looks at this particular sentence, probably he or she is going to say that Di and the farmer are the same person. But it could be ambiguous. Also, the subordinate clause here has not been separated. Now, what I want you to focus on is what happens here, particularly with this word guy. And later we'll have a look at the word planny. Now, if I separate off the subordinate clause with a comma, watch the guy on the right. The guy suddenly shifts over to in front of the comma and it becomes mice, and the planny becomes bladdy. This is just a feature of Welsh. An annoying feature of Welsh, but there you go, that's the way the grammar works, so that's what you have to live with. Now, it can separate off the planting vegetables because we just feel like it. Let's see what happens if we do. Oh look, the guy turned into a mice and then it's suddenly gone into a vice instead now, and it's back where it was before, but this time the bladdy has turned it back into planny, particularly because this probably doesn't really make much sense. If we separate off the in its field, let's see what happens again. Not very much. So this is not actually changing anything grammatically, and I think I'll take that comma out after field because I prefer it that way. Now, Di and the farmer may actually be different people, and it may be that I'm telling Di that the farmer was in his field planting vegetables, and in this case we do need a comma after the Di to separate it off to make it clearer. What I'd like you to watch here is what happens to the past verb here, which is actually should correctly adjust itself to be with the farmer. 1, 2, 3, go. Nothing happened at all. Well, that's strange, isn't it? What happens then is that the farmer is actually separated off in this. Now watch what happens if I actually go back. Remember before when I put the comma in after field nothing happened. Watch what happens to the Welsh now, having put the comma in after die. Here we actually get the correct grammatical form. The farmer now becomes the subject of the sentence, and we're going to vice still in there. Planny is still there as a separate clause. It's actually extra information, and we've actually disambiguated the English enough now for the Welsh to start making more grammatical sense. If Di is the farmer, we need a further comma here. Now what should happen is that this roedd should come to the front of the sentence because Welsh likes to stick its verbs at the front, or parts of its verbs anyway, and there we go. The same kind of thing happens with question marks. If you leave the question mark off, the grammar is strange. That's Charlotte.